All right, so I'm about to give y'all the full rundown on how we came up short on this refi. It really still not a bad deal, but I ran the numbers a little off, and I'm gonna tell you there's one little mistake that I didn't pay attention to. So I'm gonna go through the whole deal, how we got the deal, how I ran the numbers, and what all came up. So we were on auction.com. We found this property on auction.com. The property, it was a bid property, so you can bid on it. So I think the ARV that I came up with was $112,000. I'm gonna tell you how I came up with that ARV, the after repair value, or what it's gonna appraise for. So the house directly next door to the house that we got off auction.com had just sold for $112K. So I was like, okay. And I looked at it, I compared it, same year built, same number of bedrooms, bathrooms, very similar square footage. And so I looked at a few more places, all of them for selling for like 112, 110, 108, 106. So I'm running the numbers on this thing. So I come up, I'm like, okay, maybe it'll go for 112. So I tell the lender 112, but I'm like, if it comes at 106, I ain't tripping. So we ended up bidding on the property. We ended up winning it. What we did to win it, it's a whole nother story, but what we did to win it, we waited to the last minute and set the last bid in at $48K, and we got it for $48,000. And so remember, we're thinking the ARV is like 112. At first, I thought the ARV was going to be like 135 because I have a house that's like probably 15 minutes away from this one. But after I ran the comps on, I'm like, no, because my house has a garage. This house just has a carport. So we send everything to the lender. The appraisal comes back at $95,000. So I'm like, damn. I looked at it. Remember, so we bought it for 48. We put 24,000 into it, so 72,000 in cash. So 72K cash is what we're in at. So I'm looking, I'm like, man, how did this come at 95? You know, people tell me just go get another appraisal. So I said, man, let me go see what they're looking at. So I look at the houses that he compared them to, and I'm like, okay, they're all selling for like 97. One of them is on the market right now for 103, but the other one is selling for like 97, 98. I don't have the exact, but it was like all in the 90s and like 100. So I'm like, how did I come in at 95? So, and I'm like, the house next door just sold for 112. So I figured it out. I missed one thing. The one thing that I missed about my house and their houses is they all had a half bathroom. So when we got the house, I've been running numbers the whole time on a 3-bed, 1.5 bathroom house, while my house is 3 beds, 1 bath. And I knew it before we even closed because my mind got scattered. So after we closed on the property, we're excited as hell. We're like, yo, we finally got a property out the auction. We're about to get this thing fixed up. So of course, I'm not there. I have boots on the ground. My boots on the ground. My mom, my dad, they go to the property after I close on it. And my dad, he walks it and he was like, this house is built weird. And I was like, what you mean? He was like, it's only got 1 bathroom in it. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Because all the other houses have 1 bathroom. He was like, and I didn't really catch it because at the time after we acquired it, at this time when he's walking the property, I'm in my mind, because you guys know I short-term rent my properties, I Airbnb them. I'm thinking short-term rents. I'm like, man, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 6 people. I'm like, man, that might be a headache. But he was like, nah, it's not even a half bathroom here. I'm like, all right, it'll work. I don't have the end goal in mind. So we passed it up. And then at the very last second, after I seen what my appraisal came out to, they had compared them to all the houses with 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. I'm like, man. So the appraisal comes in at 95K. We put in 24, so we out 72K out of pocket. So it comes in at 95,000. We're gonna pull 75% out. I think it came out to like, hold on, look at my numbers behind me. We're going to pull out about 71.2. We're going to pull out 71,000. After fees, it comes out to like 64,000. Not bad because the first 2 months on this house, with it being already up, we've already cash flowed $2,000 each month. So we've already cash flowed 4,000. We've already made that difference back. That 64,000, the 72 we put in, we got 64 out. We've made what? Yeah, we're going to get 64 out. We had 68K. So we like 4,000. Like we pretty much paid $4,000 for our house. So it's still not bad, but it's just a small thing that can mess up a deal. In this case, we were good. We didn't have like a huge amount of cash into it. Like we didn't go way over on budget or anything like that. But I just wanted y'all to let y'all know that's what happened with me, because the mistakes, that's when we learn. The mistakes is the best way to learn in real estate is make mistakes. So I'm actually happy we made the mistake. I hung my head for a minute. I'm like, yo, how did I miss that? But I'm like, next time I know. I didn't know in that area of where I was looking at, they had 1-bathroom houses, because even the houses that I have like that are not too far away, they all have a half bathroom. So I figured all of them had a half bathroom, and I should have connected the dots when my dad first went in. So then at that point in time, we may have went, hey, see if we can negotiate going down on the rehab budget, you know what I'm saying? See where we could save some money. But it doesn't matter because it's not that big of a loss, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really look at it as a loss, just a learning lesson. So that's pretty much what happened. Remember, do your due diligence. Make sure you run your comps correctly, So, and even at that, and it's always good to have multiple exit strategies. See, I'm Airbnb-ing this, so I could Airbnb it to get the money back. I could still, I'm gonna refinance it, or I could still flip it. So it's good to have multiple exit strategies, and just do your due diligence, man. Do your due diligence. Everything will turn out okay. If you fall, don't quit. The day you lose is the day you quit. Just don't quit. To me, I'm like, man, I'm gonna crush the next one. That's, you have to have that mentality. You kind of had that Mamba mentality like Kobe. Like, yeah, I just airballed the game-winning shot, but I'm about to go out there and do it again. You know what I mean? You gotta have that mentality. A lot of people don't like him for having that mentality, but you gotta have that mentality. You gotta next play. So that's how it happened for me, and that's my not really a failure story, but my setback story, and hopefully it helps you guys in the next time that you're looking to acquire a property.